Always wear protective gear. Eyeglasses, hand gloves, steel-toed boots preferably. In case you miss, we don't want your toes to get cut. For your safety, tell others what you're planning on doing. Also make sure you have a phone in case of emergencies. Tell someone there locally, I'm gonna go chop wood with an axe. If you have seasoned wood, basically wood that's been left out to dry, like logs that have been out there for a year or two, that's pretty awesome. Make it easier to cut. You really shouldn't burn wood that's only been seasoned for 1 year. You should wait at least 2 years or more. Always make sure to look behind you, be aware of your surroundings. Before every cut, just turn around and look around, make sure nothing's coming near you. It's nice to find a nice raised platform to work on. I, in this case, used a larger stump. For your first strike, make sure you know where your axe head is at all times. Is your axe head above you? Or if you're walking around to pick up some wood and move it and you have your axe with you, is the axe head pointing out, pointing in, getting close to somebody or getting really close to your leg? Always make sure you know where it's located at all times. When you're ready for your first cut, make sure you measure it up and make sure you're going to hit your mark. Hit right where you want it at. Make sure there isn't any extra room. Make sure you're not overhitting or underhitting. If you're too far away and you swing your axe and you miss, you don't want the full swing to come back into yourself or at your feet. Always make sure to measure up. Try and use inertia with your swing. Don't use a lot of force and strength. Make sure you just use the inertia. Me personally, I match up the cracks on the log. You can see the cracks there. I make sure that they lined up straight with me so the axe will try and fall. Make sure I try and line them up so that the crack is in line with my axe head when it comes down. Okay, looks like we're halfway there. When you finally split it in half, I find it easier to keep the exposed edge towards me. Not the outside of it, but the inside, the inside of the new cut. Then make sure you measure up your cut and do not put too much effort into it. Always measure up your cut before you swing your axe. Another difficult part with chopping wood is making sure that you don't come in at an angle. If you come in at an angle, your axe head will get stuck in that log. You want to come straight down. If you come in at an angle, it might slip, which is why you got to make sure that there's no one around you. If it slips, it can ricochet, slide off, hit somewhere else. That's why it's important to measure up our cut and make sure we come straight down and don't twist. If your axe gets stuck, and if this did happen, you can try and smash it off with the log, lifting it up, but it uses a lot of energy to do that. So make sure you rock your blade back and forth while you keep track of where the axe head is. I usually just apply a little pressure up and down, but I put my hand next to the axe head and slowly work it out. If it loosens, don't just pull it straight out. I make sure I keep my hand slowly. I push down, I rock it back and forth, and I take it real slow. And when you're finished, your pieces are going to look like the kinds you see in the bundle whenever you buy firewood. You're going to stack it up into a pile, a long straight pile, and stack it several feet up. Now for cleaning up. Make sure you pick up all the extra wood. You can either use it as compost, or you can also use it for kindling. I found that a rake works the best to get all the mulch and bark chips. And I'd also like to give a shout out to my mentor, Devastation Rogue, who taught me everything I know about chopping wood. Thank you, Dev. And if you wouldn't mind, he also has a page where he does tutorials for video games, including Minecraft, and I believe he's working on Fallout 4 at the moment. Thank you very much.